Yeah, it's crazy to think about this. All right, so talk to me about breaking points real quick before we get into kind of Bitcoin and some of the other stuff. How big is this thing? And like, it's 7-8 months old now, and you guys have just taken the world by storm, literally going right at the throats of Fox, CNN, MSNBC, etc. I see you smirk, so I know you're like, yeah, that's exactly what we're doing. How big is it, and like, how have you thought about the first 7 or 8 months?
Yeah, I was stunned by it. I mean, look, I was scared. At the end of the day, like I was worried about censorship. You guys have had to deal with this as well. But I was like, you know what? We put in 2 years, built the audience, built the Hill channel from 6K subs to 1.34 million on the day that we left. So look, 7 months in, we're at 700K subscribers on YouTube, but the daily numbers are well above an average CNN primetime broadcast, at least 1 million whenever it comes to the actual view so whenever it comes to views, and also within what really matters in news is something called the key demographic. So this is the BS part. Like all of these Fox, CNN, all that, they may say 3 million. It doesn't matter. The only thing that actually matters are the key demo, the 18 to 54 demographic. For even Tucker or Rachel Maddow, the highest paid people, the biggest news on broadcasting, they are 1/5 of what Breaking Points' actual key demo audience is. And that's not even including the millions of downloads a month that come on the podcast format from Spotify to iTunes. I mean, this is what you were saying. This is about the open ecosystem. You don't have to watch me live. You can watch it whenever you want at your convenience. I actually noticed in my podcast downloads, there are some people who wait until the weekend and then listen to all 3 of the episodes. Not the way I would consume news, but hey, whatever. It's up to you. And I think that that's the important thing. So look, it's bigger than I ever imagined. Within 7 months, we basically blew out all of our 1-year goals within the first 2 weeks of launching and making sure that we were going to be sustainable. And it's only been up from there. So look, I mean, people showed up for us in a big way and made it even possible. And now I'm just, now I've got ideas. I'm like, okay, now we've actually got the ability and the base to upgrade. So we upgraded our studio, 4K cameras. I was telling you this, from what I understand, the engineers who helped build my studio told me that we have higher tech than CNN, MSNBC, and them. It's a level playing field now.
How
it's
pissed,
the internet.
How pissed is like Fox, CNN, and MSNBC? Do they even know this is happening? Or are they like reaching out to you, kind of back channeling and being like, hey, this isn't cool?
So it's really fast. What's the thing? It's like first they ignore you, then they copy you, then it's like then you beat something like that. At first they just wanted to ignore us. They ignore for the first 2 years, not just Breaking Points, but whenever we were over at the Hill. But here's what started happening. And Crystal and I would notice that those people, their friends and family members who aren't into politics at all, would say something like, hey, do you know those guys, Crystal and Saagar? And I would get texts and all those things. Be like, oh, it seems like you're really working, that type of thing. Then what happened is now transitioned to anger and has been like a total blackout. But I'll be honest, like I welcome their hatred. And frankly, like I've even said this, the more you guys ruin the country, the better I do. Like I'm doing better because you guys are so terrible at your job. So we are in a mutual kind of antagonism phase where, they try, it's all very inside baseball and it sounds super petty, but because I speak Washington, like I know what's going on. Like they tried to leave us off of like the most influential people and media list, even though they put people on there who are like junior correspondents or whatever. It's like ABC News. They try and black you out of any of the recognitions and the societies and the accrediting situations. But look, I don't care. Numbers speak for themselves. At the end of the day, they know when they go home for Thanksgiving or Christmas and they talk to somebody who is not inside the Beltway at all, they're going to be like, hey, I watch Breaking Points. That's how I get my news.
Dude, forget their societies. Let's create our own society. Who wants to hang out with those losers anyways? Yeah, right. Exactly. That's my approach in life.